Hi everybody, my name is Adam Fox. This is my assignment 5, the revision and rationale of my assignment 4 teaching lesson. The teaching lesson I used was from a current textbook we use in class. This particular chapter was about comparatives and superlatives, so using most, more, IER, ER at the end of adjectives. The first part, do the tasks yield appropriate evidence of the identified understanding? Yes, I think so, because first of all, the first task for me to do is to introduce the topic to the students. So to get them thinking about the grammar point before even looking at it or talking about adjectives and things like that. The next part for them is to read the story, which involves a lot of the grammar points. So using in a lot of the cases in that particular story, it was using fast, faster, fastest. So your sled is faster than mine, yours is the fastest, so on like that. The students then have to, I will use comprehension questions to try and get them to make sure that they understand both the story and how those grammar points are used. They do this then by I ask them questions based around those grammar points. They will try and answer from the story, like whose sled was the fastest, this person's sled was the fastest, so on like that. The students then in the second class will actually do a lot more writing assignment, so they had to actually implement their knowledge that was involved from the previous lesson. Second one, do the task involve a complex real-world application of the identified knowledge, skill, and understanding? Well, the first point is that these students are all using English as a second language, so just using English in the classroom is an actual real-world application of the skill, because they will use it pretty much every day, or at least sometimes, especially in our classes. They will have classes maybe 4 to 5 times a week, so they will use it almost every day. Um, the ability to actually use appropriate grammar, maybe not proper grammar, but at least appropriate grammar in certain instances to actually be able to express what they actually want to say in a certain situation. All of the writings, also all the assignments involved in the chapter and in anything that I use are all based on actual applications. So like kids talking to each other about who has the fastest bike, or someone talking about which is the biggest animal or the biggest car or fastest car or whatever like that. So they use kind of things that the students would actually use in their every day-to-day lives. The third part, are a variety of appropriate assessment formats used to provide evidence of learning? Um, First of all, in the first class especially, peer review is used more than anything. So it's a lot of first I'll ask a question and then I will actually get that student that answered to ask another student a question. So they will kind of like chain on from there, and they're using they're using the questions structure and the answer structure. So using the appropriate adjectives, using the appropriate superlative and comparative, etc. like that. The second class is where the group review would come in more, because peer review would take actually too long, because there's quite a lot of writing and speaking assignments, so I have to try and lead that more than anything. So generally as a class, we will review the lesson, we will review the work that they've done piece by piece, so each section. I will always get the students to read their answers if they can, um, and then make any corrections or anything else that they need to do. Are the students given the opportunity to self-assess and reflect upon their learning performance? Mostly this happens during the review stages. My classes are only 40 minutes long, so it doesn't allow for a huge amount of self-reflection and assessment, which I think I will try and integrate more, maybe into extending the lessons into a third class specifically for review and self-assessment, so as to actually put their abilities into a little bit more practice, a little bit more a real world situation possibly. Um, I think I'll have to work on that in the future, maybe turning it into a third class, not just working over 2 classes like I currently do. I think that might work and help the students a little bit more. And yeah, that's the end. The ITSE standards I used were mostly for educators and students. mostly involved in the design and assessment stage because that's mostly what my class entails. Um, I hope to then implement them further in the future. I hope everyone has a good day, and thank you for watching and listening to my video.